Blessed to be a part of your day. Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio. Don't forget this hour, we will be giving away tickets to the PBR that starts this week at the Ford Idaho Center, the Ford Idaho Center in Nampa. I just still want to call it the Nampa Idaho Center. Anyway, coming up, your chance to win a pair of tickets this half hour. Simply listen and be caller 10 at 580-5436. 580-KIDO, and we're going to give you a pair of passes to the Ford Idaho Center. Good for Saturday. That's right, Saturday's big show, the toughest sport on dirt. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be a good time. And we'd so appreciate you joining us here each and every morning when we have a chance to give you something. We want to do that. We'll take a look at that as we move along. Joining us now, Jerry Someka to talk about, cars. He is the Vice President of Consumer Action for a Strong Economy. Jerry, good to have you with us here on KIDO Talk Radio.
Hey, good morning, Kevin. Great to be with you.
Let's talk about cars. You take a look at them today, and they're just so expensive.
They are quite a bit more expensive, and that's one of the factors that makes them more expensive are a lot of the rules that come from the government. If you look 30 years ago, back in 1985, adjusted for inflation, the average price of a car was around $15,000. Now it is around $35,000. So cars are certainly more expensive, and people are taking out longer loans on them, and it's eating into our budgets, and it's hurting our competitiveness. And people are also keeping their cars longer. The average age of cars on the road now is about 12 to 13 years. So that means for every car that's brand new, there's a car that's 17, 18 years old on the road. So it's not a good situation, and we don't think it's something that the government should be involved in to the level they are, where they are designing cars from Washington that we all have to buy that are far more expensive and don't offer us the free market choices that we want in our vehicles.
Well, and we take a look at cars today, like pickup trucks are going for like $60,000, and that's not even like the most laid out, decked out ones. You can have cars that, and we're not even talking like the Teslas, but you can buy a Ford or maybe a Toyota for Lexus for $90,000.
Yeah, they don't even throw in an air freshener. They
yeah.
Then that's one of the big problems is that the automakers are having to respond to the dictates from Washington, which are ever increasing for the CAFE standards, which is the average fuel efficiency of the cars that a company sells. And as we know, back when 70s happened and America took their lumps learning about our dependence on foreign oil, and we had the oil crisis, they started to look for ways to save energy, like making us go 55 miles an hour on the highway. And then they introduced vehicle standards for fuel efficiency. Cars back then had lead in them, and they got about 12 miles to the gallon, and gas was cheap and nobody noticed. But again, the oil crisis hit us. So since that time, Washington has decided that they are going to be in the car business. And with the Obama administration in 2012, they took the CAFE standards, which was the required fuel efficiency of around 29 miles per gallon, which it is today. And that involves a lot of cars. There are a lot of smaller cars out there too, obviously to average out with the pickup trucks. But the Obama administration decided in their wisdom that by 2025 they were going to nearly double the fuel efficiency of cars to 55 miles per gallon. So your average car would have to get 55 miles per gallon. And if you're an automaker, what is that going to do to the price of the car for us consumers? And it's been astronomical prices. Again, we see more than doubling of the average price of a car. It's about $6,000 or $7,000 average per vehicle that is embedded in the price of a car for these government mandates, which is about a year's worth of payments. So if you take out a 5-year, most people are doing a lot of new cars it averages 6 years, but if you did a 5-year loan on an automobile, one solid year of your payments would be going just to pay Washington.
Well, in this, Jerry, as you talked about, this all came from Obama, right? With these unreal standards. And I was thinking about that when he implemented them. I'm thinking you're putting too much strain on the car manufacturers. And as you've detailed, they're passing it on to us.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's part of the larger agenda to go after fossil fuels, which are affordable and plentiful and far cleaner than they were in the 70s. I mean, cars today are 99% cleaner than they were. Again, we used to put lead in gasoline,
Yeah.
and cities were filled with smog. And it's a good thing that with technology we've been able to get better mileage and cleaner cars. But this kind of mandate is they did this with the energy sector too. They told coal plants that they could be with the Clean Power Plan. They said you can build a coal plant, but it just has to be so clean that the technology to make it live up to government standards hadn't actually even been invented yet. So it's this weird, bizarre situation where Washington is not just saying, be responsible or, we're going to work with you, but they come up with these outrageous standards that literally the technology doesn't exist for it. And it's costing consumers, it's costing us a lot. Probably a lot of your listeners are car people, and I know I'm a car guy, and when I read reviews of a lot of great vehicles, the lament near at the end is, hey, it's a great car, wish it had a little bit more power. Well, it doesn't have more power because government's not going to let it have more power. So we're not getting the cars we want. We're not getting the performance we want. We're getting the cars that Washington decided we should have. And thankfully, the Trump administration is reviewing this Obama mandate, and they're looking to roll it back. And we think that's a good thing, both for industry and for consumers.
What was the deal with Obama? He just hated fossil fuels?
I think that the left has an agenda to, they play to their base, which is the environmental crowd. It's very detached from reality. I know a lot of good Democrats who have walked back and said, I'm a Democrat Party on this or that, but can't agree with them on energy. They're just so far to the left. They want to remake the country and the economy with renewable fuels. And that's another thing too, is, you have these electric vehicles, which consumers at this point, still don't want. They keep pushing them on us, but people overwhelmingly do not want an electric vehicle, or a hybrid vehicle is even far more expensive. The market should dictate those things. As consumers decide that, hey, we want more fuel efficiency, or we want cars that are this or that way, let the market dictate that. But, they are trying to make cars that run on regular gas more expensive, so that makes electric vehicles look more promising. It's politics. It's an ideology to really control the markets and control the economy, and it's pretty consistent if you look across a lot of their agendas as far as their regulatory agenda and their agenda with energy.
What can people do, Jerry, if they want more information?
They can visit our website at caseforconsumers.org. They can check us out on Twitter at case_for-America. They can, even if they want to get involved, they can go to the Federal Register and look up the Federal Safe Vehicles Rule. It's safer. It's the safer, affordable, fuel-efficient vehicles rule, which is being implemented. They're in a review process right now. They can Google that and add their comments and chime in and tell Washington that they do not want George Soros and Al Gore designing our cars.
All right, Jerry, keep your powder dry. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There we have it. Jerry Semeka joining us. Earlier this morning, if you're just tuning in, we were talking about whether or not we should legalize the pot. Don't forget, between now and 8:30, your chance to win 2 tickets to the PBR. Just be caller 10 to win those 2 tickets. It's been a little bit of an off day. We have Bill O'Reilly coming in next Wednesday, or on the phone next Wednesday. I thought it was this Wednesday. You ever just make a mistake in public and you just can't live it down? Someone who's always understanding, but we'll find out whether that's true about marijuana. Barb joins us now from Sunny Slope. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Bob.
Hi there. How you doing?
Good to talk to you.
Same here. I just wanted to comment on this previous caller about marijuana. First off, I've never used it, so let me just lay that out, nor would I use it. But he is technically right that there are certain cancers apparently it cures. I do not know which ones
Now, for people that are just tuning in, Eric last hour said that medical marijuana kills cancer.
Yes. My doctor mentioned that to me. My medical doctor mentioned to me.
Your medical
that
doctor
not only-
said that marijuana cures cancer.
Not all cancers, and I didn't think to ask which one, but because we were talking about CBD oil doing that, and yes, she said it does. It helps heal cancer. But she said, in addition, marijuana does. Now, I wish now I had asked her what cancers are involved, because I'm sure it's not all of them. But it does do that. I am opposed to it being legalized.
You know, Barb,
What?
every time I hear marijuana or hear the word marijuana, I think of that song "Smoke on the Water" or a typical stoner movie. And medical marijuana is different from recreational marijuana. By the way, the reason why we're talking about this is Canada has legalized the pot. And, you know, today, because we don't say mean things about people, you can't call people a dope smoker anymore. Remember in the old days, hey, he's a dope smoker, he's a stoner, he's a dope. And yet today, that would be mean. Everybody would be a victim. But the idea of...
Everybody would be offended.
Everybody would be offended. And in the old days, talk radio was an oasis of people being offended. However, now we're clean and sanitized, unlike the people that smoke marijuana.
That's true. But technically, he's correct. The reality is the social issues behind that are horrible. And frankly, you're right. Sit next to somebody that's just smoked in on a bus. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. Thankfully my granddaughter said it smells like a skunk's butt, you know. So
I'll take your word for it.
It is really horrible. I've been to one of those not hot tub things. What are they called? Hot springs. And I left because people started smoking it because it smells that bad. It really does. And no, we should not be passing it. We really shouldn't. But he is technically right that it does heal some or have some effect on healing some cancers. And anyway, some of the research, even on the medical
Now, wait a minute.
Online,
If marijuana cured cancer, don't you think that would be front page news?
No, definitely not. I mean, no. I mean, there are things that heal cancer that never make it out there very far because the Pharmacological Society makes billions off of cancer. They're not about to let something nutritious or something natural or something herbal. Heck, you know I dealt with cancer and I dealt with it nutritionally and herbally. That's not going to be out there because they can't patent that herb and make billions of dollars off of that. Gosh, no, that would not be out there.
Well, Barb, we're gonna continue on with this.
Yes, you ought to get a book. I'll recommend a book for you.
I got enough books to read, Barb.
Oh yeah, you do.
You're not gonna change my mind. My mind is only dopes smoke the dope.
Oh right, okay, yeah. No, instead of give a turkey, don't be a turkey. You ought to have
no. Don't. We're not even gonna go there with the turkeys and the token. No. We keep
the dope coming.
We keep the turkeys politically free. I got to run, Barb. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Max in Garden City with Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Max.
Good morning, sir. For that fine young lady you just talked to, ma'am, I am a medical doctor, and I can assure you that marijuana does not cure cancer. In no way, in no application, not in an oil, not in an extract, not when you're lighting up a doobie and sitting back and listening to the music. You're not being cured. The only thing cancer cures is wealth. What do I mean? Simple. It's a fast way to the poorhouse because marijuana is a noted gateway drug.
Right.
Earth calling, there are possible applications for the oil, but none of these. I keep up with the medical journals. I read Lancet. I read the JAMA. I have yet to even hear of a hint that it cured anything. Okay, I'm done ranting. Going to make a quick statement about that guy named Jerry with the automobiles.
Why not?
That would simply be that I'm sure even if we could roll back the cost, thousands of dollars per car, by eliminating some of these crazy rules in Washington, you and I aren't going to see any discount. They're still going to cost the same price.
Well, that's the hidden secret. That's why they're selling pickup trucks.
Oh,
Biggest markups ever.
You remember when pickup trucks were cheaper than cars?
Exactly. And I don't understand it. This is another thing where I just don't bond with people. I don't understand the appeal of a pickup truck. People love them. I think they're great. They're majestic, but more than half of the truck is wasted space.
And they're rear-wheel drive with nothing in the back. Goodbye traction.
Well, now you got the four-wheel and the all-wheel, but, I mean, in Idaho, you could say we're known for our churches, our dentists, our fitness centers, and our pickup trucks.
Well, you know, when I came to Boise after 15 years in China, the first thing I noticed was big boys, big trucks. Now, I love Idaho because the men here are huge. They make me look small. I love it because I'm overweight. I'm not like some of these people, and the only reason I don't have a pickup truck is I'm not a good enough driver to park the thing.
Yeah, I'm not down with the parking of the pickup trucks.
Our neighbor just spent $70,000 on a Super Duty.
$70,000 for a pickup truck.
That is thoroughly insane. And, you know, they'll give you a 10-year loan on the Super Duty. Oh, Lord.
But I don't understand. I don't understand how you could do it in traffic because you have these blind spots. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, the newer trucks don't have that many blind spots.
Huh.
They put all sorts of sensors, and like my Ford Escape has little trick sensors in the mirrors so that I don't have a blind spot. And I'm sure the trucks, if I pay $70,000 for a truck and it doesn't have those, worse yet, it has a plastic grill work. Plastic for $70,000. I want chrome. I want steel. I want a magnet to stick to that thing.
Well, Max, thank you for the call.
All right, buddy. You take care. Have a good one. And Steve, call back. I'd love to hear a comment.
Yeah, that's right. We appreciate that ode to Liberal Steve. Okay, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Canada has legalized the dope, and you have one person who's very happy about it. Would you want this guy watching your kids?
To be part of history, one, and to finally see the end of the social stigma that surrounds cannabis users. I like to call myself a connoisseur, and that's what I'll be known from now on for the rest of my days. I'm a connoisseur, not a, stupid stoner.
Ah! Coming to Idaho, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Okay, time to give you the tickets to the PBR. Caller 10 at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. To the phones we go. Hillbilly CJ, who's driving, wants to talk about pot with Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Hillbilly CJ.
Hey, good morning, Kevin. How you doing?
Not bad, and you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How we doing today?
I am drug-free, and you?
Oh, absolutely. So my comment for the guy that called in about pot is they always say there's thousands of uses for it. And it's kind of like air. There's 1,000 uses for air. I'm a mechanic, so we compress it and run air tools. But most of the time I just breathe it. And I kind of feel like the pot crowd comes up with all these excuses for getting it passed and legalized, and all they want to do is smoke it. And it's kind of like a bum hanging a sign out there that says, I just need money for a beer. It's just be honest about it. I used to live in Oregon, and it came out, they passed it medically, and then within years they passed it for recreational use. And I kind of feel that's the agenda the whole time. They did that in Washington, previously to Oregon, and I think if people realize what the consequences are, it's not, it becomes medical, becomes legalized, but then they don't pay for all the taxes they get from it, don't pay for all the associated costs with police, EMT, fire department. I mean, you've got marijuana grows that, people get shot over that kind of doesn't make the news, but it's there, And then you've got people growing in their homes that it used to be all the meth traffic, and now you got all the pot traffic. It went from one thing to another. And the other thing that's kind of interesting is growing up, my grandfather quit smoking because they said smoking cigarettes kill you. Well, they got rid of, not got rid of, but they cut back on people smoking. But then now they go, here's another opportunity for lung cancer that we're going to have to finance this cost in the future on healthcare, So just my 2 cents anyways.
Well, you call again, and thank you so much.
Hey, you bet, man. Have a great day.
You too. All right. Hillbilly CJ, new caller joining us. We are taking your calls at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Don't forget Glenn Beck coming up. That's right. Glenn Beck coming up at 9, and we look forward to good old Glenn. And, of course, when you want to talk about it, keep it right here. One message, 2 stations, 107.5 FM, 580 AM. Let's get you to work safely and on time.
So recovered.
All right. Thank you, Larry. And, by the way, congratulations to Steve in Meridian. He won our tickets to the PBR. And, Steve, just because, well, your name is Steve, we're not only going to give you 2 tickets, we're going to give you 3. So maybe you've got a friend that you'd like to take along, a +1. Coming up next half hour, your chance to win tickets for the Sunday edition, the big finals of the PPR, just by listening to us. I'll give you the details next. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Maggie.
Good morning, Kevin.
From your house to the White House, John Decker joining us exclusively on KIDO Talk Radio here in the Treasure Valley. John, good morning.
Good morning to you, Kevin. How are you doing today?
Well, better than the First Lady. We caught your report at the top of the hour there about her plane, and certainly we're all very concerned. Some of us are a little queasy more than others when it comes to air travel.
Yeah, this is one of those rare instances where, someone who is in very high echelon part of the government had an issue with their plane. We've all had issues with our planes before. I certainly have had those issues, but it got resolved. So they moved to a different plane. It was a mechanical issue on her initial plane that she was going to be taking to Philadelphia, got on a smaller government plane, and now they're wheels up to Philadelphia. Probably by the time we go on the air at 11 o'clock, she will have already landed in Philadelphia.
I always like that saying, wheels up.
Right.
John,
right.
Let's talk about the president. He is on a roll, particularly when it comes to Senator Elizabeth Warren. He always has something to say and didn't hold back yesterday and last night.
Yeah, he's not a big fan of Elizabeth Warren, who just released some details of a DNA test that she said she took. That DNA test seems to indicate that she has little, if any, heritage associated with being a Cherokee Indian. That being said, she claims that it validates what she's been saying over the years. I disagree with that. The president certainly disagrees with that. The nickname that he has for Elizabeth Warren, it's Pocahontas, and I don't think he's going to stop calling her that nickname anytime soon. And Elizabeth Warren, she's up for re-election in November. She's likely to win, and then it's also likely that she will run for the Democratic presidential nomination in 2016.
All right, John
2020,
Decker.
I should say. 2020, right?
Yes, John Decker, let's have you put on your political hat just for a minute. Do you think that we'll see anything from the Democrats that rivaled what we saw with the Republicans in their primary in 2016?
I do. I think there'll be at least 12 different Democrats running for the nomination. Just like Republicans in 2016 felt that if you won the nomination, you're well on your way to winning the White House. I think Democrats think the same thing when they look at the president's overall approval ratings. Now, they're stronger in certain places, no doubt about it, across the country, but nationally they're not as strong as certainly the president would like them to be, and that's the reason why so many Democrats will likely get in the race to be the nominee.
John Decker joining us here on KIDO Talk Radio. And then you had the president making comments about Stormy Daniels, Michael Avenatti. It was just a hit-filled day yesterday.
It was. The president seemed to be tweeting quite a bit yesterday. We didn't hear much from the president yesterday, if at all, except by Twitter. And in fact, I think that we'll see the president quite a bit today. In fact, he's on Fox Business Network right now as we're speaking. He's speaking to Stuart Varney from the Fox Business Network. But the president, in about less than an hour's time, will be meeting with his cabinet in the cabinet room. We're likely to hear from the president on a number of issues, including the latest on what happened regarding that Washington Post contributor who is missing, allegedly killed after he entered the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, Turkey.
And we'll have the very latest from our friends at Fox News. John Decker, we always appreciate you, brother.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Thanks for having me on. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too, our great friend John Decker. Phone numbers here, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. I don't know why Terry's texting me. Let's get back to a couple topics here. The president, as you just heard John Decker talking about, laying the smackdown. And yesterday, the president was going after Elizabeth Warren. He was going after Michael Avenatti. He was going after everybody. If you missed it, here's first up Michael Avenatti. The president called on Twitter, the president called Stormy Daniels a horseface. And the creepy porn lawyer, Michael Avenatti, responded. Now, one thing that I've learned from our days in working in the media and our days together, okay? You ever watch TV? Well, Kevin, yes. Well, I watch TV. Well, Kevin, that's all you do. I know. Blame it on my generation. We were raised on the boob tube, if you will. But I always watch these people that are on TV all the time. He's a Republican strategist. He's a writer. And I'm thinking to myself, well, then when do they work if they're on TV all the time? And that's the same thing I think of Michael Avenatti.
She was incredulous. She couldn't believe it. She thought that his account had been hacked or that it was some joke, as I did initially when I saw it.
So Michael Avenatti, the faux outrage, the faux victimhood. And you have to understand something, that President Trump is not like your average ordinary duck. If you insult him, he's going to insult you back, and then Stormy Daniels is going after it. And then people can say it's beneath the office at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. You know, what was it? About a few months ago, I wrote a blog on, Stone Cold Donald Trump. He's the first Attitude-era president. We'll probably see more of it. Here's the president on what he's going to do to Stormy and Michael Avenatti.
I think that, I don't think he's a serious person. He's not. I don't think Avenatti, the lawyer, I don't think he's. I just beat him in a big case.
By the way, you're going to have her pay the
In fact, he has to pay me legal fees.
He does?
I don't think he has any money, but he and she have to pay me a lot of legal fees, and it's based on Texas.
You're going to hold them accountable for that?
Based on Texas law. I love Texas. Based on Texas law, where the legal fees are nice and plentiful.
And you'll hold them to that?
Are you serious? Of course.
I'm just asking.
Wouldn't you be disappointed if I said no? They'll pay a lot.
By the way, thank you for reminding me. I appreciate that. We do have a pair of tickets for the Sunday PBR event. I did promise we would give those away. Caller 10, when I give you the cue to call between now and Glenn Beck. Not now. Please pay attention to detail. At 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Pair of tickets for the Sunday championship round. Don't forget to join us tomorrow. Ed's 50s Cafe in Meridian, Idaho. Well, if it isn't pro-life. Good morning. You're on KIDO Talk Radio.
Yeah, I want to say something about smoking marijuana. You know, welders get COPD. That's pulmonary disease. You can get it from a grain mill if you don't have a respirator. People that work in coal mines, all kinds of different places that you can mess up your lungs. And whether it's legal or not, to smoke marijuana or anything, a person is pretty stupid. And that's all you can say about it. Now,
in other words, you're a dope to smoke the dope.
Exactly. You're really not very smart when you put stuff into your lungs without, and if you have to work in those conditions, you have to have some kind of ventilation, some kind of filters to keep your lungs clean, or you'll get a lung disease. It's just that simple.
What I don't understand is, let's get back to the welders.
Yeah.
Don't they have a way to protect them from that anymore?
Yeah, they do. But lots of them, they don't want to have those apparatuses around their nose and, in their mouth. And so they just weld and let the smoke go in there, and they don't feel it it takes them quite a while to get so that they have a serious lung condition.
Well, you don't hear about how bad marijuana is for your lungs now, do you?
Nope, but it is.
All right. This drug-free message brought to you by Pro-Life.
Yeah, and we shouldn't legalize recreational marijuana.
I agree with you on that.
All right.
Well, it was nice talking to you.
God bless you.
God bless you, our friend Pro-Life. By the way, our top story of the day, Canada has legalized marijuana, and people across the border are token up.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Boy, my ears are shuddering. Hopefully that will never happen in Idaho.
To be part of History 1 and to finally see the end of the social stigma that surrounds cannabis users. I like to call myself a connoisseur, and that's what I'll be known from now on for the rest of my days. I'm a connoisseur, not a, stupid stoner.
Right, because a connoisseur is so much more elevated than a stupid stoner. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. And don't forget Sean Hannity this afternoon beginning at 3. Why don't we do this? Let's start out this segment of the program with a winner, right? 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Caller 10, you're going to win the Sunday passes. I have them right here to the toughest sport on dirt, the PBR, coming to the Treasure Valley, and that is for the Sunday Championship Show. Caller 10 at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. We look forward to you going to this great event, courtesy of, the Kevin Miller Show, and for listening here on KIDO Talk Radio. So that's one issue. Now, while we're collecting a winner, there are other issues that we would love to discuss. Many people taking an issue with the president calling Stormy Daniels the horse face, right? One thing about President Trump is not only does he dish it out, but he takes it. And unlike anyone else we've ever been a part of, when we're talking about public service, public works, public statements, the president does not hold back. And by the way, let's take a look at something else here. Here you have, as Tucker Carlson says, the creepy porn lawyer going after Donald Trump. Then you have people talking about the innermost personal parts of a person. And Trump wins in the court. And yet the media doesn't make a big deal out of it. They continue to try and take down a good man. The only thing you could have an issue with Donald Trump on, interest rates seem to be rising. They are. Gas prices are rising. But what would you rather have? Gas prices rolling or the economy rolling? Maybe they're not mutually exclusive. But at 580-5436, 580-KIDO, I have to say that I've never seen the economy like this. This goes back to Reagan. And speaking of going back, our friends on The View, they took issue with Hillary Clinton. Let's take a listen.
Bill should have resigned in the wake of the Monica Lewinsky scandal.
Absolutely not.
It wasn't an abuse of power?
No.
There are people who look at the incidents of the 90s and they say a president of the United States cannot have a consensual relationship with an intern. The power imbalance is too great.
Who was an adult. But let me ask you this. Where's the investigation of the current incumbent, against whom numerous allegations have...
Here's the deal. The current incumbent didn't do it in the White House. Both are bad. But shame on Hillary Clinton. Shame on Hillary Clinton. Anyone who's been in a loving, unconditional relationship, shame on Hillary Clinton for being the great enabler.
Have been made.
I have to say, they love Hillary here. But I have to say that what she just did is exactly what the Republicans do.
Right.
They change the subject. So that's why we never get anywhere in the discourse.
So, you have a bad argument when your immediate response is, well, they were worse.
Yeah.
And you don't acknowledge it. This highlighted
But
to me.
whataboutism, they call it.
Yeah. This highlighted to me, I think, why some people struggle to vote for her was because you can't have it both ways in her position, which is exactly what you want. You can't put yourself on a pedestal and be a leader for the feminist movement, and at the same time refuse to acknowledge the reality that you've lived with for all these years and to stand by your husband. I don't judge other people's marriages, but...
There we have it. So there's Abby Huntsman, formerly of Fox News. By the way, congratulations to Dex in Meridian, our big ticket item winner. By the way, coming up tomorrow at Ed's 50s Cafe, we're going to give away more tickets to the PBR. We want to thank everybody for listening, and of course, we hope you enjoy the show. Traffic and weather together. We never really enjoy traffic and weather together, do we?
Devon's Eric Everett.
And let's go to our lovable friend, Terry from State College, Pennsylvania, on KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Kevin. Well, if I'm lovable, it's not because I'm getting stoned and smoking pot, I can tell you that.
Well, we appreciate your full and honest disclosure this morning.
Why are we making another drug? Why do we want to make another drug legal? I can't fathom it. I mean, it's amazing the people in the church say, well, I don't have a problem with pot. Wait a minute. And then on the other hand, you know, there are over 100 types of cancer. You know, these cells go crazy and start to destroy body tissue. And God, in fact, did give us everything we need. We just kind of chose the synthetic route. So I have to say, okay, pot has its use. I don't know what it is. But he also says, be sober-minded. Don't do this. You know, it warns us in the Old Testament about doing drugs. Sorcery, witchcraft, and sorcery is all drugs. So what's with us? Are we a Christian nation or aren't we? I'm just trying to wrap my head around this. And when we say, then the guy next door, oh, he can smoke pot. Since when did we become that tolerant of sin? It's fine. It's okay. Just fluff it off like it's nothing. I don't know, Kevin. I know we were a Christian nation. I'm not convinced anymore that we are a Christian nation. And it's a sad place to be. You know, I mean, that puts us at places in God's Word that are downright scary.
Well, coming up next, your favorite person.
Oh, boy. You have a great day.
Thank you, Terry.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Our great friend, Terry. Here he is, everybody's lovable liberal, Steve, with Kevin Miller.
Good morning, Idaho. I just want Idaho to know when Paulette Jordan becomes governor of Idaho, as she's voted in November, that the HP building that the Republicans spent so much money on without a voice from the people will be sold, and the money will go back into the coffers for the schools and for the people.
Are you working with her right now?
Kevin, it's a great day in America, isn't it?
Indeed it is, Liberal Steve. Are you working with the Jordan campaign right now?
It's a great day in Idaho also, isn't it, Miller?
Agreed.
And I just want to say that building will be sold. And I was glad to hear you say earlier this morning, if Paulette Jordan becomes governor of Idaho. Before, you used to start out, there's no way.
There is no way.
Okay, well, I just want Idaho to be joyful and put happiness back in their life